Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. Alright, happy to have another epic train into my collection, and of course preparing for the mini event Train Tycoon. Alright, as usual, gonna pack your factories to the brilliant input and output trays. That is what I always emphasize because of my tiny warehouse spacing. So as usual, you're gonna work really hard to bring in all the raw materials from every location you could find, and then fulfill all the manufacturing in the factories. 6 core factories, all must be heavily in production before the mini event starts. Alright, so here we go. We got another epic train. Alright, so I believe it's a duplicate. Let's count the number of trains we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 epic so far. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I've collected 13 epic trains so far. So I'm quite happy with the collection so far. Let's count the number of legendary. We have 8 over here. So about 9 legendaries. Alright, so now next let's do a count on the number of rare. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9. Alright, so one more lacking, which is missing train. And last but not least, let's count the number of commons of the one there. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So good number of trains in my Canadian fleet. So I'm happy with that. I'm collecting trains, so hope to have the legendary and the rare that's missing. Of course, with a new item that I can create right now, we're going to collect lots of those fuel tanks, so we can create that new item. It's required 200 numbers. Meanwhile, also to do up the cheese, because cheese you need milk and salt. So that takes a long while, and of course fulfilling that request also gave us some XPs. And I'm really working hard towards 250, because 250 is the next milestone for the additional dispatcher. Once I reach there, I'm going to create lots of sofa so that we can claim the additional permanent dispatcher using sofa. That hopefully could be done before the start of the Japan event, which is just a couple of days away. So I'm doing a lot of preparation work, including collecting the gems. I'm not going to spend any until the main Japan event starts. Meanwhile, trying to upgrade the trains as well, and then make sure we have a good capacity when the start of the event. That will reduce the time taken to transport all the required items. Since Japan event is a new event, I wouldn't know how it really works, but I believe normally you just need certain raw materials to be collected to be manufactured in the event factory, and in order to increase the capacity, also called to produce faster, you're just going to use gems to buy additional 1 or 2 slots. Alright, and if you really want to hasten the whole process in dispatching, then you're going to engage the temporary dispatcher. I think about 25 gems. So there's a lot of gems to be spent. You do really need to save up those gems for the events, because events normally will have the event coins that's wint of our first. You get 350, and then you multiply by 3 or 1050. That require 1000, and then after 3 competition you should get that legendary train using those event coins. But of course the key to do that is always to start late. Just believe me on that, starting late do helps a lot. Besides that, preparation work like what we are doing right now for this mini event is another way to make sure you have all the items once the event started. I mean, if you don't believe me, starting late would help. Give it a try, especially using this mini event Train Tycoon, which is coming soon, as an example or as a trial base. See whether you like it or not. You will find it extremely different when what you've been doing, always very anxious to enter into the competition when it starts, vis-a-vis you wait for 12 hours later by not logging into the game. Just got to take note this: the moment you logged in the game, it auto locks you into the competition to ranking chart. So it doesn't mean that once you logged in the game, it doesn't click on that start of the competition, it doesn't start the competition. No, so it doesn't work that way. Once you logged in the game, that's it, you are counted as part of the competition. So do not log into the game at least 12 hours late, and then you sense the difference, and probably you can drop me your comments. Apparently you've got a few friends already mentioned that they feel it better, they're able to get first, and I think I'm really happy for them. And of course, preparation work is always the key. Not only you got to do up all the factory's input and output tray, you got to basically make sure your capacity and the fleet size must be strong. And if you're in the midst of transiting into a new region during event, it is always a dilemma whether should you rush to make sure you enter the new region before the start of the event, or you wait to the end of the event before you enter the new region. If you have such a choice, then I appreciate if you wait to the end of the event, because during the event itself they ask a lot of the current and the previous region trains. Just imagine you enter in the new region with a minimum number of trains. That would impede your progress in terms of the competition. So this is really important. You got to take note of that. But some things you can't control. For example, they're giving you lots of XP that push you up, and eventually you cross the line. So that is something you can't control. Then just you can live with it. But of course, how do you ensure that you have a comfortable number of trains before you cross the red line to the next region? It's basically start saving metal keys. Normally I try to save like when I'm about 70% into the current region. Like for example, we are currently moving towards 250, so about I would say 270 or so we'll stop claiming those containers. But when I entered from region 4 to 5, I didn't do that because I want to collect all the collection in the previous region. That's why it came over without many keys. The lucky thing is that I came out opening 1-star container that contains legendary and epic trains, so was quite really lucky. Otherwise we have a hard time if we be collecting lots of commons without legendary and epic. So I find region 5 is really generous. Generally in other regions I don't collect that many, especially with the change of new design, but that's been some time already, probably about half a year. So before that, the old design tends to give a lot of legendary and epic. So now I feel like the same. So it's quite a nostalgic feeling. So it's quite happy with that. You can see there, all the trains are coming back right now. So we'll try our best to see what else we can fulfill at the current juncture while waiting for start of competition. But meanwhile, trying to collect all the required items to fill up the 6 factories is also my priority. And as well, when times permit, I'll try to complete some to gain XP to upgrade myself to 250 really soon. And the competition is going to start really soon in terms of the mini event. I'm not going to lock in the game. Probably 12 hours later, then I'll lock in the game again. So that's something I thought you could try, and then drop me a comment. And of course, if you have gems, do remember to expand the event factory by at least a minimum of 1 more slot. Otherwise, with the current what was given will be always given to you will be 2 slots, totally insufficient to manage. Let's just say you won't win competition given that aspect itself. Okay, so we are almost going to start that competition really soon. So you just make sure you pack all the factories to the brim. This is a mini event. It's an intermediary between now and the start of the Japan event. It's always like that. I give you a good number of stars, and then you claim the stars and you climb the ranking chart and whatnot. If you have train upgrades or if you're building upgrades, sometimes they may be requested, but sometimes they may not. So let's see how it works out, and then once it starts, probably we'll have a better idea. So almost coming towards the end of this video. Again, I'm gonna wish you luck. in the mini event. If you're not too concerned about mini event and concentrate on other things, perfectly fine. Nothing really worth claiming in the mini event, just for fun, and of course the headquarter points. And of course I wish you all the best later in the coming Japan event. Okay, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe, and if you have any question, drop me a comment. Goodbye.